What's up, everybody, and welcome to Everyone Loves Wrestling, presented by the Spandex StandUps podcast. Today, our guest, the very funny Chris Dunn.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Thanks for being here to talk about wrestling. We do comedy together here in the Nashville comedy scene, and I feel like every time we see each other, we hijack the conversation in the group with all the other comics, and immediately start talking about wrestling. And I can tell none of them have any interest in wrestling, but they are jealous to not be in the conversation.
They are very vocally insulting and jealous.
Yeah, it's like a they don't know what to be. But,
but it's true. I feel like there's only a handful of us.
Yeah.
Where I feel like whenever I see you two and maybe a couple other people,
Corey Perry.
Yeah, Corey Perry.
But there's enough for us to
we can take over if we
going
need to.
out there.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Before we get started, real quick, I do have to say your name sounds like a 90s tag team wrestler already, though.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember the tag team Well Done? Does anybody remember Well Done?
Well done.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, dude! They're just Chris Dunn. Like that's just like you sound like you're in a '90s tag team.
Were there any other Dunns?
Chris and Cross Dunn, dude. Chris Dunn, Cross Dunn. That'd be great.
You've got
and y'all. Oh, if y'all had a move called the crisscross, oh come on.
You've got Kevin Dunn, who
itself.
doesn't have a great reputation.
Right.
I think that might be the.
But that's how y'all got in nepotism.
Yeah, Kevin
That's
Dunn.
how you got in. So take us back for a second.
Okay.
Stephen Dunn. That was the name. Timothy Well and Stephen Dunn.
Okay.
Sorry.
Take us back for a second. Your first exposure to professional wrestling was.
I believe so. I grew up, I'm like a year older than you, so I grew up in the 90s as a little kid. And I remember before the Attitude Era started, wrestling was just such in like the pop. Honestly, I think the first wrestling thing I ever got was, do you remember the ice cream pops with the cookie?
Yeah, dude.
Dude, they're so delicious. They gotta bring those back. But I remember just like pictures of Hogan, Savage, The Undertaker. Those were just like established people in my world.
Yeah.
And I would catch like maybe bits and pieces of like the golden era, like the 80s, early 90s, where and like on video games and stuff. But once I caught like an episode, once I was old enough and just found the Attitude Era, like the Stone Cold, I would say maybe 98 or 99.
Okay.
When I was too young to be watching it, that was like hook, line, and sinker. I'm in for
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
First pay-per-view you watched. What was the main event? And like,
I can't remember the first actually one of my early pay-per-views. I went live. My dad, bless his heart, brought me. I was a little kid, but Judgment Day 99.
Wow, that's early.
It was in Chicago. I grew up outside of Chicago. Judgment Day 99. I remember we had like the nosebleeds, but I watched as a child Stone Cold get fired for the first time. That's
cool.
That was the infamous "screw you, you're fired." That was it. Yeah. So that was the one. I mean, that's the most memorable one.
I mean, that's a great first
It was crazy. Yeah.
You're just hooked.
I was like barely, I think that was like, I like barely understood what was going on, but I was like, this is crazy.
It's crazy how a live event can just get you.
Yeah.
You know, because I was a golden age kid. You know, I'm 40. I'm almost 40. So I loved Hogan, Macho, Ted DiBiase, you know, Ricky, like all the older guys, but loved the Attitude Era. I loved Nitro, loved all of that stuff, but then got out of it. And like from 99 to like 2012. And going to a live event, going to Over the Limit with Punk and Daniel Bryan in 2012, got me right back in.
Nice.
But then they had Laurinaitis versus Cena as the main event and lost it. So.
Right. You know, that's how they would always, that's how they sent people home happy.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a weird relationship with pay-per-views because this was in the 90s. Was this big where you guys grew up? I had a lot of friends and family members who had like illegal cable hookups where like the guy like they used to call it the black. My uncle had like the black box.
Yeah.
So he would record pay-per-views for me, and then at like a family event he would bring it. But sometimes they would always be like weeks late, so I already knew what happened.
Yeah.
And then I had one friend. eventually, I had a friend whose dad just unabashedly got him for free, and that was my pay-per-view spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we would always have different. I had a group of like 3 or 4 guys, and our parents took turns.
Yeah.
Smart, dude.
cost.
So smart.
And I actually had a job. My parents actually made me contribute. I had a job growing up, working the book and the clock at the gym,
There
keeping
you
for
go.
basketball games.
Oh, cool.
Oh, that's a great first job,
Keeping
dude.
score. Bing.
That's
That's
pretty
so
awesome.
I loved it.
You
I did
know,
that as an
that was
adult
me.
and loved every second of it. Yeah.
It's,
It's amazing,
you know,
dude. I love it. That's a great job.
People be like, "How many fouls I got?" I'm like, 3.
I can't
They'd be
count.
like, I got 2.
Like, don't try to bully me because I'm a kid.
Yeah.
Who was your first like superstar you really attached yourself to?
I would say, so The Rock was really heating up at the time when I was really getting into it. And it was like right when he was going back and forth, like people's champ, corporate champ. But that was the first guy that it clicked where I was like, I even love heel Rock. So like, I feel like I was a huge Rock guy. But then I also, huge DX guy, more specifically X-Pac. I don't know if it's because,
Okay.
I don't know if because he was like a little, I was like a little kid and I was like,
He's looking over your shoulder right now. That's cool.
oh, hell yeah, dude. Yeah. But yeah, I remember gravitating towards like, because the undercard was so hot. We were talking about that now, but like Attitude Era, there was some where like everybody on that card was like selling merch. Like to me, they were all like equally awesome.
So
So
like right now.
exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, so The Rock is Rock, Stone Cold, Mankind. I had a really big phase with, but
Love Mankind.
Yeah, but no,
when he was the 3 Faces.
yeah. Oh yeah, my first piece of merch, I think at that Judgment Day thing, I bought the foam DX thing. So that was like it was like basically like the foam finger, but it was just like a green DX.
Yeah.
So yeah, the big DX.
I mean,
guy.
Shawn Michaels is that guy for me. So
Nice.
like that's a true sign of your first like favorite superstar is when they turn bad, you're still on board.
Oh yeah.
So you're watching. When did you? Was there a moment where you kind of fell out? Like, so how long?
Yeah, so I was like still pretty young. I would say I fell out around like 2001-ish just cuz I was like growing up. So I eventually just
Yeah.
got into like, to me, and especially like around where I grew up, it was kind of like, it was sort of still viewed as popular as it was sort of viewed as like little kids
Totally.
stuff.
Same,
So like,
Same, dude.
See, I feel like I caught on late because I started watching in 6th grade.
yeah.
And I was watching in middle
I
school,
was
like
5,
6th, 7th, and 8th grade. And a lot of my friends, and I was actually able to get my close friends on board.
Nice.
Because one of my boys had a trampoline, so we
Oh,
would just
there
be
you
out
go.
there throwing each
Oh
other.
yeah.
around.
Once you get the Fed going.
And again, like there were a couple. It was a great. They were really feuding in that time. It was Shawn Michaels, Triple H going at it, and Last Man Standing.
Oh, nice,
Hell in the
yeah.
Cells, all this stuff. But I hear you. Yeah, I mean, people were still kind of, because then it started to get PG. So
Yeah.
even if you got into it in middle school or whatever,
Yeah.
it didn't hold up. That's the problem. It's like with each pay-per-view,
Yeah.
it held up less and less.
You can't be hooked on the Attitude Era and then they give you what they gave you.
Yeah.
So that's what the age, me being out of
Yeah.
high school and me just not liking the product is what got me out of it.
WrestleMania 20 is the last one that really held people. Eddie Guerrero, retained the champion.
I was already
Benoit-
out.
I was out too, yeah.
Benoit won the championship. And then you go into WrestleMania 21 and Cena wins the championship, right? And so the product just changes
Yeah.
dramatically. So yeah, it was just, some people were on board with it, but
So Cena won the championship at WrestleMania 21
I believe so, yeah.
and we're heading into WrestleMania 41.
Ooh.
Cena's going to win that title, bro.
No, he's not. He ain't winning. He ain't winning.
No, but yeah, I remember.
Well, this would maybe be the first time that, they really give us an ending where we're like, man, F that person that just won,
Yeah.
that they've done it in a while.
Yeah,
It's been a feel-good moment. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I feel like last year's was such a feel-good moment that they could almost do anything this time around.
Yeah.
So you stop watching 2001, 2002,
Yeah.
right? So when did you get back into it?
Dude, so I feel like from all the people that I know, I took maybe the longest hiatus. I only truly got back into it over COVID, I started like 2020. I started getting back into like
What a time to get back into it.
well, I was gonna say I got back
The
into
Thunderdome, dude. Yeah, really.
well, I got back into the old like stuff that I liked.
Okay.
Because I'm actually
Oh, they started playing WrestleManias on ESPN, bro. They were so depraved for content, bro. I remember that night they played WrestleMania on ESPN. I was like, everybody tune in, support the product.
Well, you know what actually really got me was Dark Side of the Ring, because it covers so many different things where like, and I'm living the dream where my girlfriend became fully hooked on wrestling. So she was, over COVID, we were watching like Dark Side, and she's like, who are all these people? So I'm showing her like the classics.
Yeah, you're going back.
And then slowly we start to go like, what's up with the new stuff?
Yeah.
And then over the last couple years, I would say that I'm like fully back.
Lucha Underground got my wife into it.
Dude, yeah, same here. I've been rewatching those. There's like a link that has all of them, and I've been doing a rewatch on those.
We're probably about to go down. WWE bought the rights to the library.
Oh, okay,
So I'm
well-
hoping we'll get it on the network.
Oh, yeah.
But I haven't seen anything yet. So
Yeah.
that's what people were hoping the Chad Gable storyline was going to turn into.
Well, look, did you not like it looked like when he's like doing the money exchange and stuff, I'm like, this is
Looked
Lucha
like
Underground.
yes,
like it looks
dude.
exactly like
And then
it.
we just got nothing but a stupid American lucha mask. Like,
Yeah, that was a bummer.
They said his name's going to be a Grande Americano. Like, what?
That Hurricanrana though was pretty sick.
It was pretty sick. It was pretty sick.
So you got back into it. What do you remember the first PLE that you watched after getting back into it this last time around?
The first one that I watched live, it was probably the first one that I actually like was excited about and fully watched live was probably the last Mania, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah, where I'm trying to well, maybe a build up to that, but that's like the first one where I remember being like, this is an event. I'm here watching.
Yeah,
Mania.
you're like, I'm stoked. Yeah.
Yeah. So I would say, yeah, it's pretty.
That's
pretty
great.
damn recent that I'm like caught up.
WrestleMania
Did you
40
watch
got
the-
a lot of people on board.
Yeah.
Did you watch the Rumble where Cody won?
Oh no, I did. Actually, you're right. I did watch the Rumble. So
Okay.
yeah, I was already.
It's my favorite, man.
Yeah, dude, the Rumble is yeah.
Have you watched WrestleMania 39?
I'm not in its entirety. Yeah.
Pretty good.
It is
Pretty good.
WrestleMania 39.
It gave me hope for the future.
Honestly, WrestleMania 39 and WrestleMania 40 is like the Godfather 1 and the Godfather 2. No, for real, bro. It is like both are such.
The storytelling in 39 is
And
spectacular.
honestly, just like the storytelling and like the production, the aesthetic, because WrestleMania 39 was in Los Angeles,
Yeah.
SoFi Stadium, and it was the night before they announced the TKO deal, and it was just a massive. It was a real, like, I feel like that was a real coming out party for WWE.
Yeah,
WrestleMania
we just
39.
didn't know it yet.
We just didn't realize
Was that
it.
still? So that wasn't Triple H. That was like right at the tail end of Vince, right?
Oh, no,
Triple H was running it,
Oh,
but
no, that was
Vince
already
still
when
had
he-
a little fingerprint in it.
Ah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, Triple H had taken over.
Vince
I
came
wanna-
back to sell it.
Yeah.
We just didn't know that yet.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Because I want to say it was the SummerSlam in Nashville, Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, where
that
that
a
was
tractor?
Triple H's first official, like he's.
yeah.
But yeah, no. That one was really fun to go back and watch. So when you're going back
I might
and
have to
watching,
give it a rewatch this weekend.
when you're going back and watching classic matches, what's your strategy? Like, where does your head go first? Do you go to person? Do you go to type of match? Do you go to a year?
That's a good
You
question.
going for stuff you've never seen before? You hitting up that 2013, 2015, that John Cena versus the Wyatt family era? Like, what are you hitting up?
So that's actually like I still neglect. I feel like there's just this huge gap where I wasn't there and I haven't gone back. I'm either going back to like my growing up era or just keeping up with
I'm
new
the
stuff.
same way, bro. I
like,
do that
there's
too.
just forever like a lost 20-year gap. But
That's why I'm trying to build up the momentum because I missed the whole Lesnar, Kurt Angle, Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah.
Like I missed all of that.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm trying to build up. I'm watching Raw starting in the time that I grew up in.
Yeah.
And I'm building that momentum up to watch it through what I've missed.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean the build up. I mean, I will say I feel like the year of like the build up to WrestleMania 19 into that year of WrestleMania 19 to WrestleMania 20 was spectacular.
And I missed all of it, so I got
Really great. I mean, they were doing wild stuff. Kane versus Shane McMahon in ambulance matches at Survivor Series. I mean, Undertaker versus Vince in a Buried Alive match.
Yeah.
I mean,
You got to give it to Shane, man. He would always put it on the line.
WrestleMania 19 was, I think, Hulk Hogan, Vince McMahon in a street fight.
I can't go back and watch that nonsense.
I
can't. If both competitors are collectively are over 100, I'm not watching.
That match is sick though.
You know what's a sick Vince match is the St. Valentine's Day Massacre where he takes the bump off of the
tower.
Dude, I mean, let's take Vince's personal life aside, but dude, the one I feel like for him not being a wrestler and Stone Cold like carrying him through that match, it actually works. But
we just love watching Vince get his tail whipped.
Yeah. But I also a big it'll be stuff like if I just mentioned a classic match that Avery, my girlfriend, hasn't seen, that's always good because I'll be like, oh, you got to see this.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought of like, do you have certain go-to matches that you try to hook non-wrestling fans with?
Yeah, and it's always depending on the person and what I think that what I think they'll like. Like someone who I think really wants to see physical action, I go to like one of the Johnny Gargano versus Tommaso Ciampa matches from NXT when they did like a street fight at like one of the NXT takeovers because that was like next level wrestling. But then if I'm like someone wants to see classic like the Glory Days, I'm like, oh well, they're the Survivor Series 2003 Elimination Chamber match is like.
I've gone back and watched.
It's like brutal, or like the Triple H versus Mankind Hell in a Cell match.
Oh, dude, I mean, like
I
feel like mine for the longest time was the Taker Mankind Hell in the Cell, just because, just from the sheer spec, even though it's not a good example of a wrestling match, because there's about
the sheer shock value.
Yeah, like I feel like that's always my go-to of like car crash. Can you just believe what you're seeing?
Yeah. See, I try if I want them to get them hooked on straight wrestling, I take them back to the WCW cruiserweights.
Yeah,
like any Dean Malenko, Jericho,
dude, any
Eddie
Nitro
Guerrero,
opening match is like,
man.
dude, those,
those were so
they were so good.
Ultimo Dragon,
Juventud, man,
Juventud, Psychosis,
wasn't super crazy? Yeah, super crazy.
Yeah, dude, they had them all, man. Like, I love. That's why I caught on to Penta is because to me he's an ode to Psychosis and and Conan back in the day. Like the way he walks in, like the old like La Parka, like the cool guy walk. Like I'm just everything about him makes me feel like he's about to dominate Monday night in the cruise. Like, and he's a heavyweight. He's a big luchador. So I love Penta.
Oh, that was another short chapter too. Like around 99 or 2000, I got super into ECW. So I was like, I was there. I caught them on like their last years and was like finished out
TV.
Yeah, like finished out the run. But dude, I went to another time. My dad was a saint in retrospect, but he took me. He took me to like a filthy ECW show that was in. We had to drive to Milwaukee from Chicago, so it was like 2-hour drive to like this rough neighborhood where people were. I remember they weren't like it was winter and like they had like the "let us in" chants. People were like borderline causing a riot. New Jack came out to greet the audience on like a balcony, and people were going nuts. And my dad's just here for the ride. Like, what are you taking me to? I saw like a Sandman entrance. He's like, what the hell is this guy doing?
He blew smoke in your face,
dude. Yeah, dude. I was. I had a. This is hilarious. I was like a preteen who had a pour beer sign.
He was like, oh no.
Yeah, he didn't. He never crossed my path, but But dude, I saw got my picture taken with Tommy Dreamer back in the day.
That's awesome. Before he planned to kill Paul Heyman.
Yeah, before he did and said a lot of things.
I was gonna kill him in Mania, bro.
No particular order. Your top 5 favorite wrestlers.
Ooh, man.
I love this one. This tells me a lot about someone's wrestling fandom.
Damn. Okay, let me.
No pressure.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to think.
No pressure.
You say 5?
5 time.
Now that I have ECW on the brain, I'm going to start with that. I think RVD's making my top 5.
I was like, which ECW wrestler is getting up there?
I think RVD is pretty tough to argue.
No one gets higher than RVD.
RVD. Shawn Michaels.
Yes.
Got to have Stone Cold in there.
Stone Cold. Stone Cold.
I think I got to have Rock in there as well.
Okay.
Stone Cold, Rock, Shawn Michaels, RVD.
Quite the Mount Rushmore you're putting together.
Oh, yeah. Who's number 5? I'm just trying to go by like era. I might include, just for the sheer amount of matches that were important to me, I might go Mick Foley.
Okay.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
a great one.
Yeah.
You got a lot of great legends there, man.
Yeah.
I love that. And yeah. I mean, Mick Foley, underrated. I think when people think about top 5s, especially when you think about if I want to go back and watch a match with some playback value. I mean,
Yeah.
the
I love
common
Cactus Jack.
denominator
Yeah.
in a lot of those matches is Mick Foley.
And
Any iteration of him.
I mean, if we're talking about Randy
Yeah.
Orton versus Mick Foley at
The Legend
Backlash.
Killer.
Oh, yeah.
If you haven't seen that one,
Oh, I have seen that.
Randy
yeah.
Orton's not Randy Orton without that feud. I
Mick
don't
Foley
think.
versus Edge at WrestleMania.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Wild match.
That was the flaming table, right? Yeah.
And Mick Foley was so broken at that
Yeah.
point.
Mick Foley versus The Rock when he's getting his head bashed in with the chair.
Ooh, yeah.
Even those insane matches he put on in TNA when he was way past his prime.
Yeah.
Those Kurt Angle, Perk.
Yeah.
I know we don't want us calling him that anymore, but I love Perk Angle.
Yeah. Ooh, he would be a close contender as well. I love Kurt Angle.
He was great.
Yeah.
See, I missed his entire career.
Oh, man.
But I've gone back and watched a lot of key matches. You
Dude,
know,
his original run in WWE was like, he was so funny. I feel like he doesn't get credit for how hilarious
oh yeah, dude,
he
I
was.
was a little cowboy hats.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
Because I mean, I hate the dude broke his neck 17 times. You know, so what are you doing? You know.
Yeah.
All right, you said a lot of great old wrestlers from the era that you fell in love with. Who's some of your current favorites?
I love Cody as just like, I can't believe like a just total all-American baby face like works as well as that does.
Yeah, from his Stardust days.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, and that goes against all the, obviously I come from like the more extreme background of like kind of liking more badass guys, but I just love Cody. I think he's awesome. Penta. I've really come around on Punk. I think we talked about, I had a bad taste in my mouth about Punk for a long time,
Same,
but
bro.
something about him now, he won.
He's humble, and I
He won me over.
like humble Punk.
Yeah. Punk,
He's waiting his turn. He's not. He didn't go in there day one and say, "Give me the championship, give me the main event, or else I'm not coming back."
Yeah.
He came back and said, "Let me build this up. Let me win back the fans that I might have lost." Because we've talked about it plenty of times. I loved Summer of Punk. When he was threatening to take the title, that I was back hook on and sinker. Those matches with Cena and Alberto Del Rio.
That I
the
did
Biz,
go back and
it was
rewatch, actually.
It
Yeah.
was great. Love it. Summer of Punk, Pipe Bomb, the whole shebang. Love it all.
He's got one of the best documentaries too. Did you ever watch that?
Yes.
Yeah. Really good documentary.
I literally hated his guts when he took his ball and went home.
Yeah.
And then that UFC thing was laughable.
Oh yeah.
So,
Jeez.
and then I just did not respect anything he did in AEW. Everyone thought he legitimized AEW a little bit. I did not see it that way.
Yeah.
I felt he looked like an outcast the entire time he was there. So I did not enjoy his and that's back when I enjoyed AEW. I watched AEW.
Yeah, AEW was on fire.
I was
still.
actually on Jungle Boy's side.
Oh yeah.
Like Team Perry all day, you know. So
At the end of the day, none of these guys really need the title. They just want to be part of good stories.
Yeah.
and CM Punk is winning me over because he's okay with that.
Yeah. And his promos, he kind of rides the line because the promos are still believable. Like when he's pissed, it's like, oh man, we're getting a little bit of vintage Punk here. But yeah, I think that's why it works so well because you still buy him being furious. Yeah.
I'm a massive tag team guy. Like if I was a wrestler, I would want to be part of like an epic tag team. You know, like I love Steiner Brothers, you know, the Rockers, you know, like who's some of your favorite tag teams over the years?
Ooh, hands down the Dudleys. I love the Dudleys.
3D.
Actually, man, I would have almost cheated and put them. I don't know if they're Mount Rushmore, but they're
I mean, they could be on your Mount Rushmore.
dude, they're so. I mean, yeah. Talk about the ECW days, and then like I think they're the most they did going from ECW to being bona fide superstars the best out of anybody.
They showed tag teams how to be part of that main event scene.
Oh man, and yeah, obviously the TLC matches, but even when they weren't hardcore, they're just so good. Yeah,
And every time they were on Monday Night Raw, it was like, oh, must see television.
Oh, dude.
The table.
yeah,
They still chant that no matter who's in the match.
for sure, man. Yeah, the Mae Young.
Oh my goodness, dude! I love hearing Bubba Ray talk about that. Have you heard his stories where she?
Oh, when she was like lay it in.
She slapped him on the
Yeah.
face like, "Don't you go all sensitive on me."
Yeah. She's a badass by all accounts.
Yeah.
Are you guys watching LFG at all?
Not yet.
I've watched clips and stuff. You know, like to me, I just hadn't. I hate that you can't really find A&E anywhere. I have YouTube TV. A&E's not on it.
It's a bummer. I'll actually have. That's the only. I'll like catch someone will put up like a rip on YouTube.
Yeah, because I love all the biographies. Like I want to watch all the rivals. I want to watch all the A&E stuff. It's just hard to find sometimes.
Yeah.
I know they got the app, but they just let you watch bits and pieces here and there.
Yeah, but for a reality show, it's actually pretty good. It's not.
I'll have to check it
It's
out.
not too cheesy, and it's a good combination because you have Bubba, who's like you got
Yeah.
Bubba and the Taker. It's
Oh,
like
so they're keeping it old school.
Yeah.
The one clip I saw was like some girl walked up and asked him to use Undertaker's move.
Yeah.
He's like, "You're green and you're asking me for my move already?" Like, so I can see probably liking all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah. So Bubba, the Dudleys are probably my favorite.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about now? What about current?
Current, that's like the only actually Street Profits. Yeah, I mean, because the tag division is kind of the only thing that doesn't have me hooked right now.
SmackDown's doing a good job, and then Raw is just non-existent. They made the War Raiders and the Creeds, but like we don't even see them interacting that much.
Right.
Yeah, so that's like Street Profits. Every time I see them, I'm like, I'm entertained.
I get hyped.
Yeah, they're awesome. That's probably my favorite right now. But yeah,
Chris, gosh, thanks for being here, man.
hell yeah, thanks for having me.
Of course, dude.
This is fun as hell.
You're part of the Spandex StandUps community now.
Hell
man.
yeah.
You're one of us.
Tell us where the folks can find your creative endeavors.
On Instagram at Chris Dunnofer. I put my last name right in the middle of the word Christopher.
Stephen Dunn. That is his name. Well done. Part of the tag team.
Yeah. Yeah, catch me as Well Done on NXT someday, hopefully.
We got to find somebody named Well now and revitalize that tag team. I want to be your manager.
Hell yeah.
This has been Everyone Loves Wrestling. Brought to you by the Spandex StandUps.
Hit that subscribe button. We'll see you next time.